Well, looks like I missed on a game pick here, man. Kentucky pulls off the upset and beats Ole Miss 20-17. Let's look at the stats. All right, and looking at a breakdown of the stats, Kentucky in the line of scrimmage did what they were supposed to do in this game. They created pressure on Jackson Dart, and they was all over the field. Look at this stat right here: 1 for 10 on third down. That was crucial, and they held Ole Miss to only 10 points at the half. That is getting it done. It's 17 points overall, as y'all can see up top. That is not easy to do. Now, I know a lot of y'all are going to say they had 353 yards, total yards, more than Kentucky. Yes, they did, but they stopped them in critical parts and made them go for it twice just to convert. And when they finally took the lead, remember, that was on a 4th and 7, right? And a big play pass from Jackson Dart, obviously, to his receiver. So shout out to Kentucky, man. I think a lot of the people were saying, was this a fluke for Kentucky because what they did against Georgia, losing by just 1 point. But we now know that defense is for real. They followed up with stopping another prolific offense in the SEC that likes to throw the ball, likes to run it, and they did their thing. Now, a key stat I do want to talk about is highly dominated time of possession. 39-48 to just 20 minutes of the ball for Ole Miss. That goes a long way. And the crazy part is they didn't even run for a lot of yards, right? It was great game management by Brock Vandagriff. He chose his spots, didn't turn over the football, and they did what they were supposed to and dominated the game. Let's take a closer look. As you guys can see here, their leading rusher was Demi Suma Karengabai. He only had 47 yards rushing in this game, right? 4.3 yards a carry. They only gained 93 yards on 47 rushes. But what I did like is they didn't ask Brock to do too much. Head coach Mark Stoops did a great job, and obviously their offensive coordinator not put too much on Brock. And as you can see below me, Brock was 18 for 28, 243 yards, and a touchdown. But when you're running like that and you're getting about 3-4 yards a carry, you don't put too much on your QB, man. So it was an outstanding job by them. And also, shout out to Dane Key, man. He balled in this one. Went over 100 yards for Kentucky. 8 catches, 105 yards. Their true number one receiver and a touchdown, averaging 13.1 yards per catch. And also, Barry Brown with his 88 yards on 5 catches. But it was just a great controlled game, I thought, overall, when I was watching the tail end of it. Just thought they did a good job of just not making it complicated, right? Playing smash mouth football, tough defense, and doing what they were supposed to do, man. And that's not easy. That's not an easy place to play. And this is a big win. This is their first win in Ole Miss at the SIP since 1978. Yes, 1978. It's a long time ago. So shout out to them for being ready, being prepared, having a great game plan, and going in there and beating Ole Miss, man. I'm telling y'all, man, this Kentucky team, I don't know how far they'll go. They're only 3-2 on the season now. But they're going to be a tough team to beat going forward. And if you think you can go in there and just go ahead and write a W when you play them, you better be thinking of other things, man, because they're going to come, they're going to play, and they're going to play some really great defense, and they're going to play ball control and let Brock Vandagriff cook on offense. Now, if you Ole Miss, disappointing game, obviously, overall, being at home, a game you're supposed to win, you were favored by 17 points, but as you guys see, sometimes that just don't matter, man. Sometimes, a team is just come in and, like I said, I feel like we got to get to a point where college football is any given Saturday, kind of how it is in the NFL, any given Sunday. You just never know. The teams now are catching up. They're having elite players. The transfer portal is helping these teams be able to bring in players that's ready to play right now. And then also the recruiting aspect. So these teams that you think could walk all over, it's not like that anymore. And I thought they just couldn't convert some of their chances. They had chances in this one to kind of, score and things like that. And some of them they had, a fumble or Jackson Dart missed a throw, so it's tough. And this Ole Miss team is expected to go to the college football playoff. So I think it's going to be interesting to see when this AP poll drops tomorrow, how far do they drop them after this loss, 1, and then 2, what steps they take forward, because they still don't have a cakewalk schedule. They still have to go and play tough opponents. They don't have to play Texas, which is a bonus, right? I don't think they have to play Alabama, but you still got to play some tough teams at South Carolina, at LSU. Those are not gimmies, so they definitely got to be able to figure it out. But I thought running the ball, they should have been way better than what they were in this one. Henry Parrish, 4.8 yards of carry and a touchdown and 62 yards, but not as efficient of a game running the ball I thought that they could have. And also, Trey Harris, shout out to him, man. He balled in this one. 11 catches, 176 yards and a touchdown. He had that long one on that 4th and 7 for Ole Miss. I thought once they took the lead, I was like, okay, Ole Miss got this. But the pressure by Kentucky continue to be there with Jackson Dart, making them feel uncomfortable, making them have to extend throws. And he did extend a throw, right? He made a great throw in this one to press corner, right on that fourth down, 4th and 11, keeping the play alive, showing his dual threat ability, man, and improvisation, and keeping it alive. I thought then, when he did that, I was like, okay, they got in the bag. But, just could not convert. More pressure by, obviously, Ole Miss, and just making it tough, man, making them have to check down the ball to Parrish. And things like that, man. So the question is, how will Lane Kiffin rebound? Again, this team is supposed to go far this year. But you lose at home when you were highly favored to a good Kentucky team. Now you got to rebound. I don't think the loss should hurt them too much if they can win out. But at this point, you have no room for error. You got to win, and it ain't going to get no easier. Yeah, y'all, so that's my thoughts on the upset. Shout out to Kentucky, man, coming in there, beating Ole Miss for the first time since 1978 at Ole Miss. A great game yet again, and we'll see how Ole Miss rebounds. But comment below your thoughts on Kentucky knocking off Ole Miss.